guys, it's ShiShi, and today's topic is going to be on cultural appropriation. I know that one of our other admins already got into that a week ago, but this one is going to get into it a little more in depth. But I mean, this is going to be like an ongoing topic, and I'm going to keep talking about it. But today I kind of wanted to explain it a little bit more, just for the people that are confused, and then now you have a video where you can like share it with other people that may be a little bit not as easy to understand, like if they can't understand things as easily. So let's start with assimilation. A lot of people don't know the difference between cultural assimilation and cultural appropriation. So assimilation is when a person of color lives in a society that says that their natural self or who they are as a person of color is not acceptable. So they have to change themselves to therefore be accepted by society, to get jobs and get an education and be respected in the community. And they think that by changing these parts of themselves, they will therefore be like everybody else, but they still have the fact that they're a person of color, so it doesn't entirely work, but it can help you to get jobs and all of that. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to change ourselves in order to be able to fit into society. We shouldn't have to like do all of these things in order to be taken seriously. And sometimes assimilation can even mean life or death for us, because we haven't changed ourselves to fit into like the European beauty standards, and so people deem us as unworthy or as ghetto, so that when things happen to us, they use those things to justify our deaths. So I'm going to give you some examples of that. A big example would be when black women straighten their hair, or when they dye it blonde, or when they wear lighter colored contacts. They're doing all of those things. They think in their mind maybe, oh, I'm just doing it because I like it. But deep down, there are things that are rooted in us, that have been put in us since the beginning to make us hate our natural hair, or hate the color of our eyes, or when black women will go and get plastic surgery to, shave down the sides of their nose, or when they'll bleach their skin so that we can be more lighter, so that we can fit in more with society. All of those things are not just being done because we think that they're like aesthetically pleasing. They're being done because that is what society has brainwashed into us, to tell us that lightness is better. So another example of that would be when Native American men are told that they need to cut their long hair, because their long hair has a lot of deep cultural significant meaning, and they grow it really long like that. And then a lot of the young boys will go to school, and then they'll be told that they can't attend school if they don't cut their hair, and the men will be told that they can't work if they don't cut their hair. So they have to like cut off a part of themselves in order to fit into society. So that is not the same as appropriation. So appropriation is when you take parts of other people's culture and you wear it like a fashion accessory. And a lot of people think that if you learn about the culture, and if you are educated about the people that it comes from, and you make sure that you say, oh, I'm wearing this dashiki because it comes from whatever African tribe, then that you can therefore wear the thing. No, you still can't wear the thing, because at the end of the day, you're still wearing a part of their culture as a fashion accessory. That is not respecting culture. That is not doing any favors for us. That's not appreciating anything. That is just still stealing from us. No matter how educated you are on it, you shouldn't be wearing those things if you are not from that culture, regardless of how educated you are on the topic. And a lot of people get angry about that, and they're just like, well, if I learned about it, why can't I just take it? Because it's not yours. Because I can't take off my black culture like a pair of pants, so you shouldn't be able to put it on and take it off whenever you want. Because you can't just take the pretty perks of being a person of color and then take it off when it's convenient for you. It's like, you can wear these things and you can like have like the nice parts of the culture, but you don't deal with the struggle, you don't deal with the oppression, you don't deal with the racism, you don't deal with any of that. But like when I wear those things, when I like have what it like comes naturally to my culture, I do have to deal with all of that. I can't take that stuff off. I can't take off my skin color. I can't take off my hair. I can't take off any of that, because that's who I am. So I earned my stripes to be able to use my culture, and white people did not earn that. So another thing is cultural exchange, and this is something that people also like they get confused about too, because they're just like, well, then how come Angelina Jolie could like go to the Middle East and wear the Middle Eastern attire of the place that she was in and like get away with that? Okay, so cultural exchange is when you were invited to come in and partake from the culture with the people whose culture it belongs to. So in that case, Angelina Jolie goes to another country. She is informed about the country and educated on it because she's showing appreciation. So she did all of her homework and did all of her research, and she knows that in that country, women are expected to be covered to a certain extent. They're expected to look a certain way, they're expected to dress a certain way. So she went in and she's like, okay, if I were to dress any other way in this country, I would be disrespecting them because this is what they expect from women. So if she goes to that country and she wears that attire, she is showing appreciation for them because she's respecting the laws that they have for women in that country. Another example of that would be when white people or people, just another person of color, is invited to an Indian wedding and they're invited to partake from the Indian culture, and they are allowed to wear like a bindi and like the other like outfits, the Indian attire. They're doing that in that setting, in that wedding, because those Indian people have said everybody in this wedding can partake from our culture, everybody can wear this. When you leave those doors though, when that wedding is over, it is no longer your culture to partake from. So in the wedding, everybody has said that you can do this, and that's cool. Like, embrace it. Everybody is doing it, it's exchanging, everybody's having a good time. Outside of that, no, it's not your culture to partake from. So I think this is where everybody like gets really confused about the whole thing, because they're like, well, why can I wear it here and can I not wear it there? Because it's about respect. The biggest thing about cultural appropriation, cultural exchange, and cultural, like anything that's like cultural, is about respecting the other culture. And you don't respect them by wearing their culture like a fashion accessory when they have not invited you to partake from it. So these are all like things that if you want to like fight these things and you want to like pretend to be educated on these things, then you need to do your research and you need to Google the shit out of everything, and you need to do your homework and like learn about culture. You can't just like, you can't form opinions about things like this based on how you feel about it, because it's not about how you feel. It's about respect, and it's about the fact that we are the marginalized and oppressed people, and these cultures belong to us. And white people have stolen so much from so many people of color from all around the world, so much so that in our own countries they have been like infiltrated with like whiteness. You go to like Africa, you'll see billboards talking about skin bleaching. Go to Asia, billboards with skin bleaching. Why is it so important to have lightness? Why? Because European beauty standards have taken over the world, because white people rule the world. So the problem is that all we as people of color really have left is our culture. We don't have very much left. And so if you guys keep like dipping, just taking bits and bits and bits of it, what do we have left? You know? I think one of the big ones that like people really love to do is that white people love to take from Native American culture. They think that, oh, it's cool, whatever, we already like, you know, killed all of them, all that genocide didn't matter, girl, whatever, wear that headdress. No, because that headdress, first of all, Native American people, they don't even just wear the headdress. Like, you have to earn to wear the headdress. You have to like earn the feathers. You have to earn the opportunity to even have that. That's a chief's headdress. Like, that's not just for anybody. So the fact that like some white girl at Coachella is wearing it, you know how disrespectful that is? Like, that one is one of my like biggest like things when it comes to cultural appropriation, because it just irritates me so much that you can take something that's so important to somebody and just like stomp all over it because you think it looks cool for your, you know, indie music festival or whatever. So I need white people to understand why cultural appropriation is such a big deal, because it's not just about hair, and it's not just about, you know, an item of clothing. It's about our existence as people. It's about who we are, because this culture is us. Like, my culture is me. And it's about the fact that we don't have a lot left. This is all we have left, and we're tired of people taking it and taking it and taking it from us. And then it's like, well, what more do you guys want? You've already taken over the world. And if I cannot freely partake from my culture without facing discrimination and racism, then other people should not be able to come in and adopt parts of my culture and put it on like the latest fashion accessory.